heavier one, so we've switched over and presenting this one. This is the final say where we look a little bit more in detail of the game and a couple of stuff that's happened off the field. So coming up, me and Kyle earlier on today spoke to a couple of Newcastle fans. Would you rather prefer Bruce and Solskjaer? Let us know what you lot think as well. That'll be coming up, and also a little bit on fan subscriptions. But first, we're going to talk about the game. Jonny, obviously you know who he is. Paul, you know who he is. And we're going to crack on straight away. What we do in the final say is the lineup. Jonny, you must have been pretty happy seeing it.
I was surprised as well. Obviously there was a few leaks yesterday that Matty Longstaff and Kieran Clark were going to start. But
did you believe those leaks?
I did, yeah. I think it was too much. I think people knew too much about our starting 11. I think it was from one or two different sources. So if they're both singing from the same hymn sheet, most of the time it's right, unless there's a dramatic injury. But no, I was pleasantly surprised. But I preferred what we had going forward with Saint-Maximin coming back in. We desperately needed him. I was glad Atsu was job, because I just don't think he offers you a lot. But in terms of what we had, I was quite happy with what the starting 11 was, and I thought it was a game where, when you look at Manchester United starting 11, we could have a real go at.
Yeah, I would agree on that as well. So Paul, let's jump straight to the first half. We went in 0-0, but talk me about a couple of chances. Well, if you want to call them chances, especially Matty's when he hit the bar.
It was a bit of a battle of attrition, wasn't it, during the first 45? Although we were on the front foot and we were dictating the play, there wasn't an absolutely sort of plethora of chances created.
You're using some big words tonight.
I know.
You must be happy.
I am. I'm relieved, is what I am, because the thought of another loss, I just could not take it. So to go in there, I mean, the one where we smacked the crossbar was sitting there. You know, will we come back and regret that? But we were fantastic.
Did we shade it first half?
I think definitely. If you look at just not so much everything else, but just the positions on the pitch, we were dominating it in the right areas, and we were getting the ball about, and some of the little 1-2s and the combinations that we were using, they were coming off, and it looked as if they'd been working together on shape and on a plan. The players looked infused, ready for it, and ASM was just a joy to behold, just to be able to see somebody to take that ball and travel with it and not just hit it long and it go out and this, that and the other, and the frustration levels grow. But it was a lift to everybody, I think, in the stadium as well, just to see the way that he played. Yeah. And the way that he shifts across the park, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it now. He's given me a renewed faith that we can perhaps get something out this season.
You can say why I kept saying you've got to start for a reason. What do you make of Joe Linton getting brought off earlier than what I expected? Because I thought he struggled a little bit today. I thought Twanzebe, if I've said that right, Boston.
He did, but I thought that he wasn't getting any service anyway. I felt a bit sorry for him. But Carroll, and Andy Carroll,
you know what you get of him, didn't you?
Do, and I think Twanzebe and Maguire thought, not him.
As soon as that happened, he went right back, didn't he?
He did. I think obviously Marcus Loho came on for Man United, but just before obviously Joe Linton gets brought off, I think Manchester have a big opportunity missed just before half time with Maguire. He surely doesn't miss that. I can only remember.
He didn't against Leicester, did he? When he was playing for Leicester last time out, do you remember? It was harder, and he didn't. But I mean, it was.
How did he miss that chance? Paul, what's wrong with you?
I mean, come on! It must have been. Maybe it was the Celtic supporter who was behind the goal in the Gallagher. Yeah, maybe he put him off.
That was odd, wasn't it?
Yeah, very.
Sorry,
odd.
Go on.
Very odd. But I thought we got away with that one. But yes, going back to Joe Linton, I think it just needed Andy Carroll to come on today. You've got Matty and Sean in the middle of midfield.
You just know it's a lift straight away.
Yeah, and maybe the crowd needed that, and I give Steve Bruce credit for that, because he probably thought, I'm not getting anything off him today. It's maybe not the game for him. Let's bring Carroll on. Let's see what we can do. And he was a havoc. He got a free kick straight away. Andy Carroll.
Be brave. Bobby used to do it all the time. So
triple subs.
If it's not working, it's not working. And have the guts and have the conviction to say, you know what, I'm going to change it. I'm the boss. This is what we're going to do. There's no point hiding and stuff like that, because another defeat, and then you're heading to Chelsea, and that'll be a difficult game. You could be out of a job. Go for it. You've only got one shot at this job, Steve Bruce, so make the most of it whilst you've got it. And today I think he did. Brave with his team selections, brave with his substitutions, So credit to him.
Talk about the goal. Obviously, you've touched upon saint-maximin being a threat as well. Obviously, this has been drilled into the channel, and we're happy to allow them to bang on about NA29. I'm NA16, by the way. We'll not mention your postcode because obviously
it upsets some people because they think that they don't have the football knowledge if you don't happen to come from any sort of postcode. So,
I think that was a bite.
Just the one. But I'll let you talk about. Kyle's obviously banged on about it in the previous video and the live radio show earlier on.
Has he?
Talk to me about, when we've talked about the goal, talk to me about the feeling though, what he would have had scoring that.
I think he would have loved that opportunity before the game even started. 20 or 25 yards out, middle of the goal, in front of the Gallagher. He had probably just said, just give me one chance, and I was sitting right behind it, and as soon as he hit it, it was straight in the bottom corner, and De Gea has absolutely no chance because of the pace and the fact that there's a defender in the line.
We've seen it already, but earlier on the friend you had seen it and he put one top corner. Seen it in the first half. Paul mentioned hitting the bar. Just the technique to keep that down is very difficult.
It is, but he has to keep his head over the ball, which he has done, and if you do that, you give yourself more of a chance. If you're leaning back, it goes into the Rose Ed where I am, and the Gallagher, and you pick the ball up and you go back to David De Gea. But I think the composure was the biggest thing that I'll give him credit for today. I do agree, I think either Kyle or Paul said, I can't remember, the fact that he had Sean next to him, I think helped him massively, because he could go, look, don't get yourself too far. He was running like a headless chicken about 5 minutes from the end, and he said, get yourself back over here, get your arse over here, almost, because that's not your job. Your job is to stay in the midfield and don't let Fred and McTominay dictate the ball going forward. But you've got to give him so much credit, and he's not going to remember this. If he doesn't play another game for Newcastle, which I'm sure he won't, I'm sure you'll have plenty of appearances, but you cannot take that away from him.
Yeah, you cannot. Question for you, Paul. Obviously, I'll wrap up the second half. Couple of chances. I thought Fabian Schär was brilliant. Couple of last-ditch blocks, last-ditch clearances. Brilliant. Man United didn't really offer a great deal. Struggling big time. But never mind the future. Is the Longstaff brothers the current?
Yeah, who else are you going to put in? I don't think John Joe Shelby is anywhere near the player that he was.
Do you think he could be out the door by January?
I would. I'd said it before. I'd have let him go to West Ham in the summer. I think his legs have gone. I really, really do. If you see players that literally they're just going past him, and there's nothing he can do. All he's got is that one ping Hollywood ball, and he does it really, really well. But I just think it's not enough. And you look at some of the other options that we got, and it's not really up to scratch. They have a real chance to be able to establish themselves as the two. They've not cost us a penny. And at the end of the day, that's money that we can save to reinvest in other areas of the team that we need to.
So sell them for stupid prices?
No. I mean,
Mike Ashley wouldn't put that past you.
Well, if the thing is, I'm asking you, if Fred is 60 million?
Right, anybody got a joke before Drop Dead Fred, didn't we? Yucky Dog Spoon, all that. Anybody who's seen Drop Dead Fred, that's the reference from it. It's a good film. It is a quality film, isn't it?
That is absolutely shocking. I think tonight your homework has to be to go home and watch that. It's a quality
That's what we
movie.
should do, right? And next time he appears on video, he has to give it a rating.
Yeah.
There we go. That's your homework for next week, Johnny. It's a good film, it's a good film. Where was I? Right, fantastic. We won. Brilliant. The scenes, awesome. Let's quickly hear what Steve Bruce had to say.
I have to say, when you have a difficult week like we've had, it's all about the response. And today, and the positive, the way they went about it, the boys were brought in, and the ones who retained their place. And of course, the story's always going to be the young kid, isn't it? Which is quite a remarkable story, I have to tell you.
How pleased are you for him and for the whole family, because of course they both played together?
I can only speak now as being a parent and a grandparent to say, wow, they must have absolutely, to have your two sons playing in the middle of the park for Newcastle United, being the Geordies as well, quite fantastic.
He was missed the derby there, but to be honest, I don't think if he missed that, I don't think he would ever forgive himself. I think he was humming and hawing about it, and I said to him, how many chances do you get to see me make my debut and play in the middle with my brother? And he kind of agreed with that, and especially now he'll be happy he didn't miss it.
Right, so obviously I think he looks relieved, doesn't he?
He does, but I think he'll be over the moon. I think everyone spoke about, or he spoke about, the fact that this is the dream job for him to be the Newcastle manager. His first win over Manchester United, the team that he played for. Can
I just pause you there? Does that need to stop now? Because I'm already annoyed by, it's great being a Geordie, I'm picked. Does that need to now put that to bed and now focus on, forget that you're a Geordie, forget that you're picked, it's your dream job, now focus on games?
Well, you've got to look at the last week. I think he's learnt a lot this week. And yes, this is not Manchester United of 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but you can only judge him on the results that he's got. And he's got results at Tottenham, he's got the results today, he's picked up a couple of draws, 8 points from 8 games. You've got to say a point a game keeps you up in the division.
Do you think, from a motivation side, he's got to learn to be able to motivate them against the so-called lesser teams? It's okay going up against the big boys where the motivation sort of comes from the players. You play Man United, the name, you think of it. But he's got to be able
You have to win the teams around you.
You've got to beat the likes of Brighton, the likes of Watford. You've got to be up for it just as much as you were today. And it's that consistency that he's now got to get, because ultimately we are fighting against relegation again. He's got to do it.
But it works two ways though. The manager's got to install that into his players, but the players have got to be bothered as well, because how many players would you say were bothered to get a result against Brighton? How many players were bothered to put in a performance against Norwich? I can't think of many people on one hand. So it has to work both ways. Yes, I do take your point that Steve Bruce has to do more in the games around you, and I'm sure he'll learn from the last couple of games in particular that he has to do that. But if you're looking back at today and what you can judge him on today, he got it pretty much spot on, and you were right, Paul. He was brave to make that decision about Andy Carroll, and them sort of decisions will get fans on side, it will get bums on seats, it will get more people coming back to St James's.
Speaking of Steve Bruce, me and Kyle interviewed a couple of fans around the ground just as we were going in, and who would you rather have, Solskjaer or Steve Bruce? Have a look at this.
Oh, it's a tough one. I'd have to say, at the moment, Steve Bruce.
Who's going to be sacked first, Solskjaer or Bruce?
Solskjaer.
Why?
Because Man U, like...
Oh, they're struggling.
Yeah.
Man United is Man United, and they're doing terrible. Newcastle, usually a mid-table side, but lately, a small drop, but not as big as what United is going through right now, in my opinion.
If the swap roles, Bruce went to Man United, Solskjaer come to Newcastle, who would do a better job?
I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, actually.
Despite him taking Cardiff down.
Yeah, I still think he would. I feel like he would bring good energy. He was a player not so long ago. He would definitely help the players out, yeah.
If both of them swap roles, Bruce went to Man U, Solskjaer come here, who would do the better job?
Probably Solskjaer.
Even though he took Cardiff down?
Ooh, maybe it's Bruce actually.
So Bruce will do the better job at what, Man U?
Yeah.
Solskjaer, definitely. I think he's going to be sacked before Christmas with the way things are going. I think, what is it? Haven't won in the last 10 away games? No, terrible, especially for Man United. Not good enough.
Tell me why. What is it? Why do you like them seem to struggle?
Because they're the best, on paper they're the best team in the world with trophies and that, and then we're beating them now at a level.
Final question, do you know much about the Longstaff brothers?
The
Longstaff brothers?
No, I don't actually.
At this present moment, Solskjaer looks like he's going to be out of a job, so you would probably say Steve Bruce at the moment. I can't believe I'm saying that. Paul, dead quickly, what we're trying to do with this fan subscription, can you tell everyone about it and what we do?
Well, yeah, it's lots of behind the scenes stuff, extra stuff that you're not going to see on the main channel, different points of views on stuff, some funny stuff. So yeah, check it out, it's good stuff. We're adding to it all the time. There's going to be FIFA videos, Football Manager videos, all sorts of really, really good stuff. And if you want to get in touch, want to get questions onto the show, it's the best way. We start from
there. We'll put you forward.
Put you forward straight away. So yeah, please do. It helps the channel grow as well, because anything that we do get through the group is reinvested into Newcastle Fans TV. So if you can, please do support us. It is good and it is growing all the time. As the community grows, we'll be doing more and more different weird and wonderful things in there.
Weird? I'm not doing the weird stuff. But yeah, just touch on that. Yeah, you get to see a lot behind the scenes stuff, what we're planning as well. Rob's sitting with the cameraman saying hurry up and finish off. But out of these two wins, we wrap up now. Which is the better win, the Spurs one or the Man United one?
Today, massively, because it's his first home win, and he hopefully trying to get the fans back on side. That's more important for me today.
Man U or Spurs?
I would have said Spurs, just because it was a fantastic day. And you know what? It was similar to the Manchester City at home game last season. I didn't expect anything, and we got it today. I thought we could, looking at their team and the personnel that they had available. But after seeing Spurs' results recently, that's probably put a bit of a kibosh on it.
I'll have the deciding vote and say Spurs. Sorry, Johnny.
Oh, lame, man. Do you know what it is?
I know.
These 80s lads stick together, you know what I mean?
I know you. I know I was next in all that, but hey, you seen how emotional I got after that win. I was proper and all of that, and it was just the day, the summer, the stadium. It was just a brilliant day out. So, as you can tell, we're all happy. Please support us if you can. Give it a like. That does help the video get out a lot more, and share it as well. Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.